In accounts for standard 12th, let us start today lesson number 6, retirement death of a partner, page number 216. Now see, first of all, introduction part. Retirement of a partner means retiring as a partner from a firm as per Indian Partnership Act 1932. When a partner retires from a firm for any reason or partner dies, the partnership firm ends, but the firm is not dissolved. See what they have told you, that according to Indian Partnership Act 1932, when a partner retires from a firm for any reason, it means the partner is leaving. Retirement means he is leaving that particular firm, or dies, the partnership ends. Here the partnership come to an end, but the firm is not dissolved. Dissolved means it is not closed down permanently. Okay, remaining partners can continue the firm and its business. As the business is not closed down permanently, the remaining partners, what they will do, so they will continue the business. For this purpose, necessary accounting treatment of retirement are required to be given in the books, and that treatment only you are going to learn, that in case of retirement, what kind of treatment, what kind of accounts you will prepare, and how you will pass the entries. Fine. Now second point, C, circumstances of retirement of a partner. Under which circumstances the retirement can take place? So there are two cases, that is A, as per Indian Partnership Act, and B, that is voluntary retirement of a partner due to his personal reason. Voluntary retirement means, suppose the age of retirement is 60, okay, and he is taking retirement before the age of 60, so that is known as voluntary retirement. Fine. As per Indian Partnership Act, now we'll see the first one, that according to Indian Partnership Act, under which circumstances the retirement can take place. So first, unanimously. Unanimously means any partner can retire by unanimous consent of all the partner. That is, not a single partner is having a problem by the retirement of that particular partner. Okay, so with the consent. कंसेंट मीन्स मर्जी. ओके, तो अपनी मर्जी से वो पर्सन क्या हो रहा है, रिटायर हो रहा है, एंड अदर पार्टनर्स डू नॉट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम इन दैट केस. Second is by notice. A partner has right to retire from the firm by giving notice to other partner in writing, indicating his intention of retirement from the firm before the age. Suppose before the age of 60 he wants to take the retirement, then what he will do, he will just give the notice to the other partners, and he will indicate in that he has an intention for the retirement from the firm. Third is by contract. Any partner can retire as per the condition of the partnership deed. For example, in the contract itself it was mentioned that the partnership will be closing down after 2 years, or if certain circumstances take place, so in that case the partnership will come to an end. So if in contract anything is mentioned, then according to contract the partnership will be ended. Fourth is insolvency of a partner. Insolvency means the partner is now not having any type of assets or cash with him. Okay, it means his situation is worst. So as his financial situation is not good. In short, what you'll say, insolvency means a person's financial condition is not sound or good. So in that case, a partnership of any partner ends from the date from which he is declared insolvent. And who will declare that the person is insolvent? So the court will declare that the following person is insolvent. Next is death of a partner. Partnership ends automatically due to death of a partner. In case of death of a partner, the partnership comes automatically to an end. Expulsion by other partner. Subject to provision in partnership deed, a partner can be expelled. Expelled means throw out. Expulsion means throwing out from that business. So other partner, if there are certain provisions, or some person is doing the breach of contract, it means he is not following the contract agreement, then in that case the other partners can throw him out. Or if he is not following the legal rules, or suppose he is doing some illegal activity, then in that case the other partners can expel that particular partner. Next is voluntary retirement of a partner due to his personal reason. A partner can decide to retire from the partnership due to his personal reason. An active partner is required to give public notice regarding his retirement. See, if a partner is active, it means the whole and soul of that particular business is that partner only. Then in that case, he is supposed to give public notice, because if though he has given the notice and he is he has given the notice to the partners and not to public, and in that case if the some of the third party comes into contract with that particular business thinking that he is still a partner, then he will be liable for all the liabilities. See, here they have written, otherwise he is responsible for the liabilities towards the third party arising from the activities after his retirement. The third party is still thinking that he is a partner and they are indulging in that business, okay, they are dealing with that business thinking that that particular active partner is still a partner. Then in that case whatever the liabilities are whatever the liabilities occur, then he will be responsible. He means that active partner will be responsible though he has given the notice to the partners. So in that case if he is an active partner, he has to give the notice in public. Clear? So he needs to give a public notice. Fine. So this is the circumstances that is according to Indian Partnership Act and according to voluntary retirement. Moving further, see important accounting aspects and accounting treatment. Fine. Following accounting aspects and accounting treatment are required to be taken into consideration when on the date of retirement a partner retires or dies and remaining partner decides to continue the business of the firm. First of all, calculation of new profit and loss sharing ratio and calculation of gain share of continuing partner. So see, first of all, here what you are supposed to calculate, you are supposed to calculate new ratio and gain ratio. See, in the lesson number 5 admission, you have calculated sacrificing ratio. Why? Because when a new partner is coming, you are sacrificing from your share to make his share. Here in retirement what will happen, one partner will go, so the share will be taken by the other partner. So here there will be gain ratio. Fine. Now suppose there is no hint given to you. See, suppose this is your ratio 3:2:1. This is your P&L ratio, and suppose this partner is retiring, middle partner is retiring. Fine. So here in the sum, if there is no information given about new ratio and gain ratio, okay, then what will be the new ratio? So the new ratio will be, that is, see, this partner is going and no information is given about gain proportion or gain ratio. Then in that case, whatever is the left out, that is 3:1, that will become your new ratio, and that only will become your gain ratio when there is no hint. Okay, so please remember this thing. Second, valuation of goodwill and its accounting treatment. So see, regarding valuation of goodwill, what you have to remember, you have to give only direct entry. The direct entry already you have learned in, that is, lesson number 5, admission of a partner. There what you are doing, the new partner who is coming will be debited. So new partner's account debited to old partner to old partner. What you will do here in this case, see, when admission is there, so new partner comes in, so debit what comes in. In case of retirement, what you will remember, so credit what goes out. Okay, credit what goes out means retiring partner will be credited. So how will be the entry of your direct entry, that is existing partner account debited, again existing partner account debited to retiring partner account. This will be your direct entry in case of goodwill. Fine. Then revaluation of assets and liabilities. This you are already doing, that how to revalue the assets. Whatever the profit is there will go to revaluation account credit side, and whatever loss or expenses are there will go to revaluation account debit side. Then fourth, distribution of accumulated reserve and balances of undistributed profit and loss. Whatever reserves you are having, general reserve, investment fluctuation reserve, workers accident compensation fund, so that will be distributed in partners capital account debit side. If P&L account is given on liability side, that will be distributed again on credit side. Same way, any old goodwill or any fictitious asset which is given on asset side will be distributed to partners capital account debit side. Then determination of amount payable to the retiring or deceased partner. See, in lesson number 5 you have learned that when a new partner is coming, he is bringing his capital in the business. So here when a person is going, he will take the money from the business, that is his share of profit he will take and go. So that you have to find out. Next is payment of amount due to the retiring partner or deceased partner. Payment of amount due, it means if some amount is still to be paid to the retiring partner, that amount will be transferred to his loan account. So whatever amount due, okay, to the partner will be paid either in cash or will be transferred to his loan account. That is later on it will be given to that particular partner. Fine. So these are the important accounting aspects which you are supposed to do in the sums of retirement. Okay, now we will move on to the sums. This much theory you have to remember. Now we will take out the sum. See, question number 5 on page number 265. Fine. First we'll read the sum what they have told you. Dhaval, Kamal and Naval are partners sharing profit and losses in the ratio 2:2:1. Naval retires on 31st/3/2016. The balance sheet is given. See, Naval is retiring. It means the third partner is retiring. Okay, so what you have to remember and what you have to do here, first of all, the ratio is 2:2:1. Fine. Write down the ratio and the format. First of all, the format will be the same format which you are preparing for admission, that is revaluation account, partners capital account, cash and bank account and balance sheet. Here you will write down by balance brought down, here you will write down to balance brought down. Fine. Now what things you have to record here? See, what is the ratio? 2:2:1. So just write down here 2:2:1, that is equals to 5. And who is retiring? Naval is retiring. Naval is the last partner, so his share, just make a box like this. So directly you can understand that the partner who is retiring, his share is 1/5. Fine. Second thing what you'll do, Naval is retiring, so put a star here. Okay, and go to your in closing balance. Here you will write down to balance carried down, and in case of Naval you will put dash here. Okay, why we are putting dash? That is by mistake also, whatever the left out balance is there, you should not keep it here. In theory portion we have studied that the partner who is going, whatever the left out amount due is there, either he will take in cash or he will be, that amount will be transferred to his loan account. So there will be no closing balance for the retiring partner. Okay, because in your new balance sheet here, the capital will be only for, that is, two partner. Okay, why? Because the third partner has been retired, so the third partner will not come here. So there will be only the partner Dhaval and Kamal. Fine. So this much you have to do before starting the sum, that the partner who is retiring, there will be dash, and in liability side there will be amount only for the remaining two partners. Fine. Now we will be moving on to the adjustment. See, the first adjustment what they have told you, value of machinery is 25,000 and value of stock is 5,000. So now machinery and stock is, that is the new amount is given to you. So here we will write down first of all, that is machinery 25,000 and stock, that is 5,000. Fine. So see, machinery 25,000, stock 5,000. Now we will compare the machinery amount. So see, here our new machinery amount is 25,000 and here the machinery is of only 20,000. So your amount is increased. When asset is increased, you will get profit. Fine. So here you will write down, that is by machinery account, that is, it is increased by 5,000. Fine. Then see, next stock is 5,000. So see, what is the amount for stock here? It is 10,000. So it has been reduced by 10,000. Fine. So when an asset is reduced, there will be loss for you. So you will go here, you will write down to stock account, that is, it is reduced by 5,000. So here there will be 5,000. Next, see, value of investment is 8,000, which is taken by Naval at this price. Okay, so here investment is taken by Naval. Whenever partner brings something, you are writing here on credit side. So whenever the partner is taking something from the business, you will record this side. Just remember, that is TB. Fine. When partner takes, this side will be recorded. When partner brings, it will go to this side. Fine. So here the partner Naval is taking the investment. So here we will write down to investment account. At what price he is taking? He is taking at 8,000. So in Naval's account we will transfer 8,000. Now what you will do, see, you will compare the value. Investment was rupees 10,000 Naval has taken the investment at rupees 8,000. So the thing which was of 10,000 is taken by Naval at 8,000. So the firm is having a loss of rupees 2,000. See, I am telling firm, the business will suffer a loss of 2,000. Now there is investment fluctuation fund. How much it is? 2,500. Now here the amount is 2,500 and the loss amount is 2,000. So it is compensated from this. So now what is the amount left out? Only 500 is left out with you. So this 500, now the balance amount will be distributed among the partner. See, we won't give any entry for this 2,000 as a loss in revaluation account debit side. Why? Because there is fluctuation fund and this will be compensated, this loss will be compensated from this 2,500 and now the balance amount for fluctuation fund is 500. Okay, so this investment fluctuation 500 will be distributed among the partner. That we have learned that reserves and funds are distributed among the partner except two, that is provident fund and workers profit sharing fund. So by investment fluctuation fund account, see 500 is to be distributed among these three partner. The ratio is 2:2:1. So no need to do the calculation on calculator because 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5 and here also the amount is 500. So directly we can understand that the amount is 200, 200 and 100. Clear? Then see further. The provision of workers' compensation to be credited at rupees 2,000. See, the workers' compensation provision is to be credited by 2,000. Here there is no workers' compensation commission. Fine. Compensation provision is not there. Fine. So here what you will do, you have to create this workman compensation reserve. So this will be created where you will create in your liability side. So see, here you will write down workman compensation provision, means that is reserve. Okay, they have told you to credit 2,000 amount. See, liability side is your credit side. Fine. Now your liability is increasing, so your expense is increasing. So here you will write down the second entry to workman compensation reserve account, that is 2,000. You are creating this reserve. Fine. Then see the next entry. The provision for doubtful debt is to be kept 10% on debtors. See, here there is bad debt reserve and here the debtors amount is what? So that is 30,000. And what you have to do, you have to maintain a provision for doubtful debt at 10% on debtors. So see, debtors amount is 30,000. So here we will write down debtors, inner column 30,000 minus BDR, they have told you it is 10%, that will be 3,000. So outer column it will be 27,000. See, whenever 10% is there, just simply erase 10 from backside from the amount, main amount. Fine. So that will be 3,000. Orally like this you will do. So now BDR is how much? 3,000. And here what is the amount given to you for BDR? BDR is only 2,000. So see, already 2,000 you have taken out. Now how much you have to take out extra? That is only 1,000. So that 1,000 you have to take it out. So that will be your expense. So here you will write down to bad debt reserve account, that is 1,000. How we got this? So 3,000 was your new amount. Old amount is already you are having 2,000. So the left out amount you will record here. Fine. Then see, goodwill of the firm is valued at 40,000. Okay. Now how to do the calculation for goodwill? So I have told you previously also in the theory portion that only direct entry you have to give here in this case. Fine. So here we will write down that the firm's goodwill is 40,000. So see, here we will write down that is first working note, firm's goodwill, that is equals to rupees 40,000. What you have to do, you have to give the direct entry. So therefore direct entry what it will be? So here see, particulars amount LF debit and credit. Fine. What you will do, the retiring partner will be credited. So your retiring partner is Naval. So to N's capital account, and here the existing partner, that is D's capital account debited, and then K's capital account debited. Okay, from this firm's goodwill, what is N's share of goodwill? So therefore N's share of goodwill, that will be 40,000. Now what was the old ratio? Old ratio was 2:2:1, and this is for the retiring partner. Okay, here it is mentioned 2:2:1. So 1/5 you will do. So here multiply by 1/5. What amount you will get? So 5 8s are 40. So see, 40,000 into 1 divided by 5. So you are getting that is 8,000. So 8,000 is your amount. So this is N share of goodwill. N share of goodwill will transfer to your N's capital account, that is 8,000. Now this 8,000 is to be distributed among D and K. So in which ratio you will give? See, in the whole sum, here this is your last adjustment. They have not given any hint regarding the gain proportion or gain ratio. So what you will do here in this case, I have told you that if the ratio is not mentioned, that what will be the new ratio and gain ratio. So what is left out? 2:2. So here 2:2 is left out, which means it is 1:1 equal ratio. So this only is your new ratio, this only is your gain ratio. So here this 8,000 will be distributed equally among both the partner, that is 4,000 and 4,000. Fine. As we have not done anything, so here invisible, what is there? Buy is there, invisible. So here what you will do? You will go here in partner's capital account, buy D's capital account, buy K's capital account. See, as you are writing D and K, so here there will be dash in D and K. Remember direct entry we were doing in admission. Okay, so the amount will go to N's capital account, that is 4,000 and 4,000. Fine. And now here there is by D and K, so here there will be 2 N's capital account, that will be here, as N is there, so in N there will be dash, and here in D column there will be 4,000, and in K column there will be 4,000. So this is your direct entry. Fine. Then all the adjustments are over. Fine. So what you will do? You will do the posting of liability and asset as you are doing in admission. So see, capital account, the opening balances are given 30, 20 and 10. So here we will write down by balance brought down, that is 30,000, 20,000 and 10,000. Fine. So 30, 20 and 10. Then the next amount is general reserve. So general reserve, that is 5,000. It will be distributed among the partners. So here we will write down by general reserve account. See, as the amount is 5,000 and the ratio is 2:2:1, that is again 5. So what you will do here? So no need to go on calculator and calculate. 2,000, 2,000 and 1,000. Fine. Then investment fluctuation fund, that we have already completed. Bad debt reserve also we have already completed. 2,000. Creditors 15,500. So go to liability side, simply record here creditors 15,500 is your amount. Fine. 15,500. Here it is given. Then coming to your asset side, old goodwill. So old goodwill will be distributed among the partners in old ratio. Fine. So here you will write down to goodwill account. Okay, what is the amount? 10,000. See, 10,000. So 10,000 in the ratio of 2:2:1, that is 5. So it is just double of 5 is 10. So orally how you can do? That is 4,000, 4,000 and 2,000. If not orally, then how you will do on calculator? 10,000 divided by 5. The total of 2:2:1 is 5. How we were distributing the ratio? Fine. Same way. So multiply only one time. Then 2 equals to 4,000. Again 2 equals to 4,000 and 1 equals to, that is 2,000. So here what you will write down? That is 4,000, 4,000 and 2,000. Fine. Then see, machinery, we have completed that already here, return machinery. Then next item is investment, so that also we have done. Investment was taken by the partner, Naval. Debtors, that also we have completed here, debtors. Then stock, so stock also we have completed here. Next is cash and bank, so cash and bank is amount is 5,000. So what you'll do here, you will write down cash and bank, but the amount you'll go here in cash and bank account, and here you will write down that is 5,000. Fine, same as you were doing in admission. Okay, so cash and bank is 5,000. Now see, now everything is done. Now you will close your, that is revaluation account. So this side there is 5,000, whereas this side 5 plus 2 plus 1, that is 8,000. So this side is greater. As debit side is greater, the difference will come to this side, that is there is loss. So by revaluation loss account, how much is your loss? That is 3,000 rupees is your loss. Clear? Now this loss will be distributed. See, in your old balance sheet how many partners are there, and what is your old ratio? There are 3 partners. So see, here there will be the loss also will be distributed among 3 partners, that is D, K, N. See, in admission, remember, here there will be 2 partners. Fine, and here there will be 3 partners in balance sheet, whereas in retirement it is opposite. Here there will be 3 partners and here there will be 2 partners. Here why 3 partners? Because 3 are there and the business is carried down and 1 is going. So here in new balance sheet there will be only 2 partners, whereas in case of admission only 2 are there in the previous business. So here there are 2 partners, and when the new business balance sheet comes, so there will be 3 partners. So just opposite of admission you have to do here. So here the profit will be distributed among 3 partners, that is in the ratio 2:2:1. Just remember that revaluation profit or loss is always distributed in old ratio. In case of admission, in old ratio only there are 2 partners, and in case of retirement there are 3 partners, so 3 will come. Fine, so your 2:2:1, so 3,000 is your loss, divided by the total of this ratio is 5, so divided by 5 into one time only 2 equals 2, so 1200, again 2 equals 2, so 1200, and then 1 equals 2, so that is 600. Fine, so now this loss is here on buy side. So here in partners capital you will write down on 2 side, debit side, that is 2 revaluation loss account, that is 1200 and 600. Fine, now you will close your partners capital account. Always close the retiring partner first. Fine, so here we will close the retiring partners account. We will do the total of this side. So what is here? 10,000 plus 100 plus 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 1,000. So it is coming 19,100. So here 19,100. This side also we will write down 19,100. Now deduct this side, debit side. 8 plus 2 is 10,000 and 600, so 10,600. So here we will deduct minus 10,600. See, what is the left out balance for the partner N who is retiring? 8,500. See, here I have already kept dash. Why? Because here there will be nothing. So by mistake also you should not write down anything here. So before starting the sum itself, we are putting dash into balance carried down for the retiring partner. So this difference will go here. As nothing is mentioned how to give in cash or loan, so you will write down only loan. Fine, so here this amount will be transferred to N's loan account. Suppose here in this sum they might have told that 5,000 is given in cash, so out of this 5,000 you will write down here 2 cash 5,000 and remaining 3,500 will go to his loan account. When nothing is mentioned, full amount of the retiring partner will not come here, but it will go to N's loan account. Now this N's loan which is to be paid by D and K in future, so for D and K this is your liability. Okay, this will be their liability, so this will come here, that is N's loan. Fine, that is 8,500. Clear on liability side. Now we will close the other 2 partner. Okay, as we are closing, same we will close. So what is there? See, 30,000, 2,000, 32,000, 32,200. So here we will write down 32,200. This side also we will write down 32,200, and now from this side we will deduct. So 32,200 minus what is there, 4,000, 4,000, 8,000, 9,200. So minus 9,200. You can do one by one if you don't want to make any mistake. 23,000 the differences. So here you will write down in balance carried down. Same way here, 20,000, 2,000 and 22,200. So here we will write down 22,200. This side also we will write down 22,200. So what is the difference? We will calculate. So 22,200 minus what is there again, 4,000, 4,000 and 1,200. So 9,200 minus 9,200. So here you are getting 13,000. So here we will write down 13,000. Now whatever this difference is coming, this will go to, that is liability side here. Okay, 23 and 13. So here we will write down 23,000, 13,000. So here there will be 36,000. Fine. Now we will close as nothing has came here. So simply your cash and bank is empty. So 5,000 is your opening. 5,000 you will keep again here. So same 5,000 by balance carried down, it will be your closing. Fine. Same amount 5,000 you'll don't forget to write down here in cash and bank. Now we will do the total of your balance sheet. So see what you are getting, 25 plus 5. So 25,000 plus 5,000 plus 27,000 plus 5,000. So here it is coming, that is 62,000. One by one we will deduct this. So minus 15,500 minus 2,000 minus 8,500 minus 36,000. So that is coming to 0. So here your sum is tallied. Fine. So this is the solution for your question number 5. Okay. Please remember the things which I have told you. So here the sum gets over.